Hey, here's a tip for Teen Parent, the bunny bow hold. So when you start out the pre-twinkle level, we start with the bunny bow hold. And there actually can be 2 to 3 different bow hold steps from beginner to the advanced or normal bow hold. So for me, it depends on the child whether we do all 3 steps or just 2. So let me run through the bow hold for you. So here's the standard way of doing the bunny bow hold. So you're going to bend the thumb. So this knuckle pops out, and that is going to go on the bottom of the bow. So that's bunny's chin. Then the middle fingers, bunny's teeth. They're really long. And then you have floppy ears. Okay. So when it comes to the ears, this is the difference between step 1 and step 2. Some children feel more comfortable with flopping the ears down. In that case, then the pinky goes over the eye of the frog. That's this little circle on the black rectangle, the frog. That feels more natural for them, so that's where we start. That would be the very first bow hold. That would be like step 1. Okay. Some children, when they show me the floppy ears for the first time, they'll go like this and put the index finger and the pinky on top of the stick. In that case, we leave the pinky over the eye of the frog, so directly above here. And then I get them to bring this one over a little bit more. And this will be your step 2. Step 3, your more advanced bow hold brings the thumb on the inside. Okay. All right, so when you do the bunny bow hold, the bottom of the frog that we're talking about, this bottom part, is this silver part. You want the thumb to be kind of half on this silver part and half on the hairs. The technical term is furl, but that is difficult to say, especially for the young children, so sometimes we give it a nickname. We just call it the clip or that silver part. Okay, so you want your bent thumb to be half on and half off of that. Okay. So I'm going to make some markings on my hand just so you can see where things line up. So first, when you're making a bow hold, you want to look at the lines of the hands to line everything up and make sure you're making it comfortable for the child's hand. Everybody's hand is different, so everybody's bow hold is going to be slightly different. Okay, so the top of my pinky here, I want a straight line from that, and usually you have these creases in your hand where the joints are that usually line up with that. So that's what we're looking for. Going to kind of go straight across from there. Okay, so that's roughly where the stick of the bow is going to be. Okay, so that's on my teeth and my one floppy ear. Now, if I'm going with the bow with the pinky on top of the stick, I'm going to make a dot there. That's where my finger contacts the stick of the bow. Now the thumb, it just depends on the child's thumb, how they are physically constructed. So some people try to put the dot right in the middle of the thumb. Okay, if I do that for my bow hand, if I come in at the middle, then I really have to rotate my hand around this way. If I come in like that, and then I'll zoom out, okay, you see, and I really get this huge pronation, and my elbow isn't knocked down, it's up. So for me, that doesn't work. I have to come in more on the side of my thumb, on the corner, for my bow hand to work, so I can get that arm down. Okay. So that point on the thumb just depends on the hand. So what you're looking for is for the knuckles in the hand here to be parallel with the stick. Like this way. But for me, if I come in the middle, I'll rotate my hand this way. Do you see what happens? This knuckle gets closer to this stick. So I lose that. So that does not work for my hand. So that's some of the things that you'll want to watch out for, your teacher will want to watch out for, is how to set up a bow hold that's appropriate for your child's hand. Let me mark where I'm touching. Okay. So I have here my pinky on the top, here for these fingers, bunny teeth here. So that's what it looks like. And then on my thumb, it's on this corner. So when you're handing a child a bow to hold on to, what you want to make sure is this clip, the ferrule, the silver part, is in the middle of their hand. You want to line that up. So go this way. So it's in the middle of their hand. Okay? And then you can come down so that you're lined up with your lines across from the top of the pinky. And then the thumb can come in on that dot. Okay, then flip it over. Okay, then everything should be pretty well lined up. Either this way or this way. One other thing to be careful of when you're teaching or giving or helping your child practice is when you actually give the child the bow. A lot of this time, I see this a lot because it's just the nature of the fact that teachers are taller than their students most of the time. So that's why I'm always sitting when I'm teaching. Not that I'm super tall or anything, but when teachers or parents hand the bow to the child, they usually hand it quite high. Now for the teacher it feels comfortable, but for the child it's too high, and then you see this, the child's coming above, and then you start to get these issues with the shoulder or the elbow being too high. So when you hand the bow to the child, it should be at the level that they're going to play at. So if you put the tip of the bow on your shoulder, and that's a pretty good level to be working at. So aim for the belly button or the hips when you're handing the bow to a child, so that you're not, teaching them to get their arm and their shoulder up. I have one other, the bow does have weight to it, and for a child who has not strengthened some of these muscles in their hands, or are coming into instrument play and have not developed their fine motor skills enough, or their motor skills enough to be able to really hold on to the bow, you can again put the tip here so that they can adjust their bow hold. Or I've seen this before, you can have them sit the bow if their hand is in their violin is in their hand. You can have them sit the bow on their hip and make their adjustments. But a lot of times parents or teachers think the child is kind of fooling around with their bow and not trying to get it together, but actually what they're doing is they're trying to get their fingers in the right place. It's just the bow is really heavy and their fingers are slipping around and moving, and they can't quite get it. So if you put the bow on something, then you can get it ready easier. That's why I like to have the instrument ready first, then the bow, because once the instrument's up, you can put the bow on the string and then make any final adjustments with the bow hold. So I hope that answers your question about the bunny bow hold. Thanks for watching.